Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Kofi and my co-host Chuck Full Damage Miller, and
What up?
welcome to another episode of the KO Sports Hangout, man. And boy, oh boy, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today, man. Chuck,
Yes,
um,
sir.
I think the first topic what we're going to be talking about is the Ben Johnson's annual meeting that he had the owner's annual meeting that he's had today. Yesterday. I'm sorry, he had yesterday with the Chicago media, and they were just talking a whole bunch of stuff about in regards to what was happening last year, the 2025 season. Chicago media was talking about how they could build up from the 2025 season into the 2026 season,
Mm-hmm.
and Ben Johnson said that this is a new year. I mean, 2025 already happened last year. It's great. We had a great moments, but this is a new year. You have new players. You have old players. I mean, players that left from the 2025 season. They're on new teams. But this
Mm-hmm.
is a new season. He talked about how even the NFC North has gotten better. How and we're just starting from square one. Like at this point, we're just starting from square one. It's a whole different new league year, and that we there's nothing you can just say, oh, I'm going to build off from this. Just completely new. It's a completely new season. You have completely new players. Some of the coaches have already left, and yeah, man, and he also even talked about just built just improving the offense. How Caleb Williams could improve, his footworking, and his accuracy. He also talked about how the wide receivers could improve on their catching abilities, improve their route running, and stuff like that. And just improving himself. He's talking about himself and just the coaches how they could, do what they can to help these players improve overall. Chuck, I just kind of want to get your thoughts about this. With what Ben Johnson was saying about this. Now I know you haven't seen too much about it, but I just kind of like wanted to get your thoughts about what he's saying. In the
Yeah.
annual meeting.
Welcome out there in KO Sports Talk Land. I'm Chuck Ford Namage One. I am the biggest Bears fan and welcome to another edition of the KO Sports Talk Podcast Hangout. Those of y'all that's out there, like, comment, and subscribe on here. We would love to get your comments and more so than that, we would love for you to subscribe to the channel so you can catch these podcasts when they drop. I think Ben Johnson is somewhat of a perfectionist as a coach, and that's kind of what you want to see from your coach. You don't want a coach that's satisfied with just doing okay, with the team doing pretty good, with the team going pretty far, with the team not achieving the ultimate goal. You want a coach on your team that's striving for excellence, and he's demanding the team to do the same, to strive for that same level of excellence. So I'm not mad at Ben Johnson for his thoughts on it. I also thought it was a great point that you just pointed out, Kof, that there are a lot of new faces in the place. There's a lot of changes that happens in the off season, and that's every off season. So yeah. No, I'm not mad at Ben Johnson for his views and for how he's how he is. I gotta say, a lot of people look at it as critical whenever Ben Johnson says something about,
Especially the Chicago media, they take things out of proportions.
yeah, whenever he says something about some kind of way the team needs to improve, all of a sudden now it's an indictment and a damning on the coaching staff, an indictment on Caleb Williams, an indictment on the receivers, an indictment on the players, and all of this stuff. Uh, um, um, all Ben is doing is what you want your great coaches to do. He's putting a demand on his players to do better than they did last time. I mean, look at what his moniker is, people. Good,
Good,
better,
better,
best.
best. Yeah,
Never let it rest until your good gets better and
and your
your
better
better
gets
gets
best.
best. That's what the man preaches. That's what he teaches. And that's what he's demanding of these players. So I don't see nothing wrong with it. And I love the fact that Ben's got that kind of energy toward it, bro. Everybody else wants to be critical or thinks that it's a criticism. Not a criticism. He's just putting a demand on You were good. Now
Or
let's
they'll say he's blasting his players or something. They'll say, "Oh, he's calling out," or
right, right. If Ben's gonna blast a player, I guarantee you he's not gonna use the media to do it, bro. He wants to blast a player, he will get in that player's face. He don't come off as a timid type of guy to me. I
he was
can't.
even being critical of himself. He talked about himself too. Is that the coaching's got a bit better? He says, "I got to get better," with my time management, in certain situations because there are times in the game where Ben Johnson he made some questionable play calling, and he's talked about it.
Yeah.
He's talked about it a lot. So it's
And
not
that's
only
what
just
you
the players; it's the coaches too.
and that's what you want to see from your coaches. This is what winning coaches do, people. Winning coaches put a demand on the team to be better than they were the last time. They're not just satisfied because we won by 20. They want us to win by 50. And if we win by 50, they want us to win by 70. And if we win by 70, it should have been a 100-point blowout. You know what I mean? This is what good coaches do. They put that demand on the team to be their best. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. I have no problem with Ben Johnson putting that kind of demand out there, bro. None. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it, Kobe.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with it. What do you think about all of the moves that Ryan Poles has made in the offseason? What's your overall take, bro, on those
I think
moves?
he's made some great moves. I think he's really made some solid moves. I mean, everybody was like saying, "Oh, why didn't Ryan Poles get a big splash move in free agency?" Or I mean, every year is not going to be like that. It's not. It's not going to be like that. I mean, the biggest one is getting us getting Kobe Bryant. I mean, that's one of the biggest ones from the Seahawks. I guess if you could say that.
Mhm.
I mean, he's got Devin Bush. That was a great pickup. I like
I
that.
think that's an underrated pickup, bro.
Yeah, he's an underrated pickup. We've gotten people don't understand that we've gotten faster in the linebacker position.
Yeah.
Last year, man, our linebacker position at times they were getting cooked by the better teams. Like, no offense to Tremaine Evans. I love that dude. I loved his moniker. With
Right.
Chicago, but there are times during the season, man, like where you had like some of the good teams. Like you had some good teams. Well, you had the good teams like uh, the San Francisco 49ers or the Green Bay Packers. Like they completely exploited him. I was watching those games closely, and then like the coaches like Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan, they were like completely exploiting him. Using
Yeah.
like their receivers, to match up with him. And you saw a lot of times during the game, like and he was having a career season at that point. But like he's like when he came back from his injury, it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know, I don't know exactly what happened, but like it just seemed like he lost a step. But a lot of teams were just picking on him, and so Devin Bush, he's had a career season, especially with the Cleveland Browns, man. He's had, I think his coverage grade for PFF was pretty high. He was like one of the highest graded linebackers in terms of coverage, in terms of covering like receivers and tight ends, bro. He's like one of the highest ones. And so I think that was a really great signing, getting Devin Bush. Bringing back Jack Sanborn was under another underrated signing. He might not have the speed, but like at times, bro,
Hmm.
we did have him. I think was it a couple years ago when we had. I'm not even going to say that other coach's name.
E
When we had,
Blues. You want me to say it for
yeah,
you? E
yeah, yeah,
Blues.
yeah,
E
yeah.
Blues.
He. I mean, Jack Sanborn at times he had the instinct. He didn't have like the crazy athleticism, but you definitely saw the football instincts.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great football.
What Jack Sanborn is, he is a physically imposing.
Very physical, and he can tackle at the point at the line of scrimmage. He can definitely get point. He could really attack. At point. He's
Mhm.
able to square his shoulders, square his body, where he can put himself in position.
Yeah,
To get the receiver or whoever is catching the ball, the tight ends or the receivers. He definitely puts himself in a great position to do that. Especially with T.J. Edwards. I'm not
yeah,
too sure the timetable for his return, but like at
right.
that point, we were really thin at linebacker. Also with DeMarco Jackson, I thought that was great. DeMarco Jackson, he did great.
Yeah,
At times during the season, I think he was very under. I think that was an underrated signing, but I don't think it's really over, man. I think we still got the draft. We still need to get What's up, Sylvester? How you doing, bro? We still got
Yeah, what it do, bro?
we still got the draft, man. I mean, we still got a whole bunch of holes. We still need to address the second safety position with Kevin Byard going. We still need to address, of course, the defensive line, defensive tackle, um, and possibly even getting another linebacker, another starting linebacker. I don't know about you, bro, but um, probably getting another linebacker because we still need that starting linebacker.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Coach, there's a guy in the draft that I've fallen in love with in terms of his linebacker, his play at the linebacker position. Uh, the linebacker out of Pitt, man, Kyle Jordan, I believe is his name.
Hmm.
Oh, go look at this guy play. He's Michael Parsons from a middle linebacker position, bro.
Okay,
This dude
what's
is
his name? Kyle Jordan.
Kyle Jordan, I believe is his name. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You get a chance, bro, pull that guy up and watch his game film. He
I
is,
also heard there's another linebacker, I think from Texas Tech. I heard they saying he was solid. His name was Jacob Rodriguez. I was getting like a lot of some reporters are saying that he's also solid too, Jacob Rodriguez from
yeah.
Texas Tech.
Well,
But
I've
I
learned
gotta
that.
see tape. I gotta see more tape. I can't really discuss because I got to do more research on a
Yeah,
lot of these players. So I'm gonna
yeah,
do my due diligence, looking at some of their tape real closely. I'm not just gonna look at their highlights. I'm gonna do the all 22. So you
yeah,
know,
bro. Go do the all 22 on Kyle Jordan when you get a chance, bro.
okay,
This dude is look. My heart and my mind is fixed on the Bears addressing our defensive front, bro. That defensive
right.
line, D tackle position. But when I saw this kid, bro, all I kept thinking is if he falls to us at 25, we cannot pass up on this dude. This guy is that freaking electric. I'm telling you, looks like Michael Parsons to me coming out of the middle linebacker position, bro. You know, and he doesn't necessarily have to play middle linebacker with Devin Bush here. I would love to have him on the strong side and move Jack Sanborn over to the weak side. I would love that, bro. I would love it, bro. It would be a monstrous feat trying to get past this linebacker core. I wish you could pull some of his highlights up right now, bro. Man. Kyle Jordan is the real deal, bro. At least from what I've seen. Now, I'm
Hmm.
not gonna tell y'all I'm no expert on Kyle Jordan. I can't tell you I know everything about this kid. I'm just learning about him. But from what I've seen on film, oh my goodness, it is a thing of beauty to watch, bro. It's a thing of beauty to watch. Yeah, when you get a chance, bro, please check that kid out. But yeah, but I agree with you. I don't think that Ryan Poles is done by no stretch of the imagination.
Mm-mm.
Um, I just think the Bears are out on all of these big name guys, man. First off, I don't think we got the financial capital to go and get the Max Crosby's and the Miles Garrett's of the world.
No, we're not gonna get them. No.
Yeah, who's restructured some things in the language in his contract so that he could be moved via a trade. Plus, I think he's fallen in love with the Dallas Cowboys anyway. So if he leaves, he probably wants to go to Dallas. From what I've seen on him saying on the video. But whatever the case, I really don't think we need to go and make that big financial commitment to get better on defense. I think Ryan Poles is doing an admirable job so far with what he's done. So far, so good. The reason I call the Devin Bush signing highly underrated is because a lot of people don't know that according to PFF standards, bro, he led the linebackers in the league in PFF rating, bro. Overall, bro, and his overall rating as a linebacker, man. He led the entire NFL. Let that sink in. The entire NFL was led by Devin Bush from the linebacker position in his
Hmm.
overall rating. That kid has found his mojo. I know initially he was considered a draft bust because he was taken in the first round by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it didn't pan out for him in Pittsburgh. But some kind of way, that dude's found his sea legs. He is back, and he is playing ball, bro. That dude is back playing ball, man. So we may have definitely got to steal the free agency, I believe, by signing Devin Bush. Um, Kobe Bryant, I thought we got him at a very reasonable value. value for what he could have made after coming off of a Super Bowl. But he's young, he's fast, he's lethal. I mean, there's no reason to pass on a kid like him. I'm not gonna tell you no lie, bro. You know, with the upside.
A lot of Seahawks fans were very disappointed that he went to the Chicago Bears.
Good. Let's keep, let's keep Seattle disappointed. You know, we're
Yeah,
opening up the season against them, right, bro?
yeah. I think I'm not too sure if it's confirmed, but yeah, there's a possibility they might open up the season, from what I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah.
But
The
that'll be
Bears.
great. I mean, that'll be interesting, very
Oh, look,
interesting.
show 'em what the NFC Championship game should have looked like. You know.
I know. Yeah, I know. This should have been the NFC Championship game. Yeah. Like,
Exactly.
if the Bears would have won that game in overtime,
Yes, sir.
man, dude.
I mean, if we win that game in overtime, I'm not so sure Seattle beats us, bro. I'm not gonna tell you no lie, bro. We riding on a high.
After what Caleb Williams just did to the Rams, man, I'm like, that game was crazy, bro.
The Rams and the Packers, don't forget them.
Yeah,
We did them a number too.
21-3. 21-3.
Yeah, so
I love clowning the Packers.
yeah. But they say it was a fair beat, all these drunks. Water under the bridge now. But I'm excited to see what the Bears do in this draft, bro. I really am. I really want to see where we go in this draft, how this works, and how things manifest themselves. I think the D tackle position is mandatory for us to get, but if we can get this Kyle Jordan dude at 25, I think we can get a DT. We got 4 top 100 picks in this draft, so I think we can wait after the 25th pick to get a D tackle, and it's not going to be the end of the world. I don't see that a lot of teams have need at the position, bro. I don't see a lot of teams have need at the position.
And plus, this is like a defensive heavy draft. I mean, you have a lot of a lot of great defensive players for this draft. So
A lot of edges, a lot of linebackers,
a lot of
cornerbacks,
defense tackles.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They say it's one of the weakest drafts in terms of the D tackle position. I don't know.
Okay.
The expert, you have to ask Mel Kiper and Phil Yates and those guys, But at the same time, they're saying that it's very deep on defense, but kind of weak in the trenches with the D tackles.
Mainly like the edges and the linebackers.
Yeah, edges, linebackers, and cornerbacks, and some safeties. There's some good safeties out there too. Caleb Banks, I think, being one that they were speaking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, how about to create a transition for ourselves? They'll go. How about the Fighting Illini, my brother?
Yes, sir.
How about them boys, man? How about the foreign exchange that is now in the Chicagoland area and Champaign, Urbana? How about that? Yes, yes, people, the Fighting Illini, the Illinois Fighting Illini, are in the Final Four in March Madness. Yes, we're one of the last 4 teams standing, one of the best 4 teams left in this country, and we have a chance to take it all.
They really dispatched Iowa. I mean, Iowa's a pretty good team, but man, they didn't have no problems with that game. I saw a little bit of the highlights, man, but yeah, like there's this one
game.
The Serbian guy. What's his name?
Which one?
The guard. That guard.
Stojakovic, Wagler.
Yeah, Stojakovic. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. He's cooking them, bro. He's really good. That guy's really good.
Yeah. And I know, you got some outsiders, naysayers are saying, oh, Illinois winning with all these foreigners. They got the foreign exchange students over there. And that's how they doing
Shoot,
this.
it's working.
We don't care how we get there, as long as we get there, bro. We don't care how we get there, as long as we get there. And I love the tenacity of these kids. Now, are they up against a tall test? Yes, they are. They're playing UConn next, who beat Duke in emphatic fashion, bro.
They should have. I mean, they came. They were down like 19, I believe, against Duke.
Yeah,
and they just came back.
It was ugly, yeah.
They were down like 19, 20 points, and they just came back.
Carlos Boozer's kids, they was doing their thing, man. Cam Boozer, and I forget the other Boozer kid name. But yeah, they was doing their thing.
They're definitely going to be top picks in the draft, though. I mean, they're definitely going to be top picks. I hope we get one of them. If the Bulls get lucky, well, we're going to be speaking to the Bulls later on. That's not
Talking about them bums.
Yeah,
But
about the Chicago
yeah,
Bulls.
but we've already played UConn once this season, and we lost to them. So there's a plus for us having run up on them before. So their game speed, their tenacity, their scrappiness, it won't be a surprise to us. It won't catch us off guard to where they can run away and hide on us or something. So that's a plus. The one key thing that I am excited about for this brand of the Fighting Line basketball team is that by all of them being foreigners, you have to understand coming over from Europe, a lot of these kids when they're in Europe, they play in grown man professional leagues at early ages. So poise
So you look
and
at Luka
tenacity,
Doncic.
they already have a lot of that in them. You know what I mean? So having poise, you don't have to worry about them having that. They're not going to get nervous. They're not going to fold under the pressure. When the crowd gets loud, it's not going to move them.
It
It's
doesn't
just not
affect
going to
them.
be that kind of party with the foreign exchange students. I'll put it to you like that. And I think that bodes well for the Fighting Illini in these playoffs. I think that bodes well, or in the tournament, especially in these Final Four.
Because it feels like a regular game to them. Like, oh, this is like just a regular game.
Yeah, I mean, they're used to it. They're used to the crowd noise. They're used to the ambiance. They're used to the yelling and screaming and the fandom. And man, that stuff's gonna move them, bro. They've been here. They've been doing this
Especially
all
with the
their
pressure,
days.
March Madness is one and done,
Oh yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, those kids, they've been there all their days. You say, still, yes, my Final Line I should take this title. I didn't have them in my bracket. Still, who did have them? Nobody saw them doing this, bro.
Especially, I think this is the first time in like, I think 21 years, like I think they've been to the Final Four, because the last time they went to the final in 2005,
yes,
they won the championship. We all remember that. They won no, they were
they came in, they were the runners up, bro. They
the
lost
runners
to
up.
North
I'm sorry,
Carolina.
they were the runners up.
But we had a dynamite team and a three-headed
It
monster.
was against North Carolina, if I don't believe.
Yeah, that was North Carolina. Yeah. Sean May and Rashard McCants and those kids.
Yeah. I remember D. Brown. I remember Darren Williams. I remember Darren Williams is on that team.
And Luther Head was also on that
Luther team. Head. Yeah, those were like the MVPs of the team.
Yes, sir. That guy was a great team, bro. I love that too.
Yep.
One of my favorite teams right there, bro.
Yeah, I remember that team. Yeah. D. Brown, Luther Head, and Deron Williams. Those are like
that team went 29-1 in the regular season.
That's crazy, yeah.
Lost the last game in the Big Ten championship to Wisconsin, bro. Only game they lost into the championship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen. Playing the Arizona Wildcats, who they could possibly meet for the title if they get past UConn, and if Arizona holds serve against Michigan. Yeah, bro, we was down big. Channing Frye and who was those guys? Channing Frye and those guys, those they were on fire out there, bro. They was killing us, bro. We couldn't do nothing with them. And we caught fire, bro. We was down big in that game. Caught fire in that second half and walked it back down, took it to overtime and beat that team, bro. That was a great.
Yeah, because Arizona, they were stacked too. They weren't no chumps.
Oh yeah, man. Lute Olson, dynamic coach, bro. Dynamic. That dude is great as a coach, man.
Yeah.
But come on, Fighting Illini now. Let's get this done, baby. Let's bring it home.
Yeah, I mean, they win a national championship this year, bro.
Ah, man, we're gonna lose our mind in this city, in this state, bro. This state gonna go crazy.
State of Illinois.
Yes,
State of Illinois. I mean, I wish it could be, my DePaul Blue Demons, but that's not really, that's my alma mater.
It's okay. We'll take it how we can get it right now, bro. We'll take it how we can get it, man.
But speaking of Chicago Bulls, I kind of like, this is a pretty touchy topic. I didn't watch too much of the, and I know we talked off camera about this, but we were talking on the phone about this whole Jaden Ivey situation. Him getting waived by the Chicago Bulls in regards to his comments about the LGBT community and Pride Month. And I watched his Twitter, and he was talking about how the NBA is pushing this agenda, with these players about the Pride Month and,
Mhm.
and all this, and he was just talking about how unrighteous it was, and I think after that whole Instagram video, I think the Bulls after that video he made, they Chicago Bulls caught wind of this and they ended up waving him.
Right.
And Chuck, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts about this. I kind of already know where you're going to go with this.
Yeah.
So, on
Yeah. I think it is utterly ridiculous on the Chicago Bulls franchise part to have a problem with a guy exercising his freedom of speech, quote unquote. The last time I checked in this country, freedom of speech was not limited to what you agree with or what you like to hear.
Mhm.
Whether people agree with Jaden Ivey's point of view or not, he has the right as an American citizen, as a that's under the Constitution of the United States, which allows freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of the press under their articles, under their amendment. What am I trying to say? Under their amendments, he has the right to exercise his voice.
First Amendment rights. Yeah.
I don't understand a country that has a problem with a young man disagreeing with the league that he plays in, celebrating the LGBTQ community with the Pride Month thing. This is not, and just for reference point, people, this is not something that the league has always done. This isn't an ongoing celebration that's been going on for years and years and years in the league. This is something they just started a few years back. So they just started doing this. And I think Jaden Ivey, whether people agree with him or not, he has every right to speak his mind. It is his conviction. It is his religious belief.
He's a devout Christian, so yeah,
About
that's
born
what he
again
truly
believer,
believes.
absolutely. So I don't understand how everybody else has a right to their freedom of speech, but every time Christians go to open their mouth and have a disagreement with something, or say they don't agree with somebody's lifestyle or something, now all of a sudden it's the worst thing since sliced bread. The only people in this country that can't have freedom of speech are
Affects your
Christians,
livelihood.
right? Is that what we're doing now, people? Because that sounds utterly ridiculous to me. It should never be on this level to where everybody is able to criticize one set of people for having their mind spoken on a subject. I think it's ridiculous. And I'll tell you something I just found out this morning, Cole. Who is that? Trevion Henderson, running back for the what was that?
The
The New England
Patriots.
Patriots. Yeah, he is now under fire because he stood up for Jaden Ivey, and he quoted the scripture and posted that on his page. He said, "Blessed are the." How did he say it? I'm trying to remember exactly how he said it. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness'
For
sake.
righteousness' sake, yeah.
Theirs is the kingdom of heaven, or what have you, or something to
Yeah,
that.
it's like Psalms. I think it was in the book of Psalms. Yeah.
I don't know how we're in a country where you can sell a Bible, people can preach a Bible in a sermon every Sunday and every Wednesday and Friday, some Tuesdays and Thursdays, depending on the church you go to. And you can say all this stuff from the scriptures. You can sell me the book that says all this stuff. But then when I publicly say that this is my conviction and this is how I feel, and I quote what the Bible that you're selling me says, now it's a problem. Now it's a
Yeah,
problem.
because they said he was a detriment. He was a detriment.
Right. He had conduct detrimental.
Conduct detriment.
How is it conduct detrimental to the team? Or conduct detrimental to the team now is speaking your mind now. So if you speak your mind,
Yeah, it's not like he was pushing, like he wasn't trying to push, Christianity on his teammates or whatever or nothing like that.
Exactly.
He's just speaking his mind,
He voicing
kind of like,
yeah. He's
kind of like with Luke Cornett. You remember that comment he made about Magic City, and the Atlanta Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though he did get some pushback, but he didn't lose his job. He was speaking his mind because he was trying to stand up for something that he believed in.
Right.
And it's the same thing, with Jaden Ivey. He's doing something that he believes in. I mean, like a lot of this stuff. Well, I'm not going to comment too much about it because how YouTube is, but there's a lot of stuff that's kind of being pushed upon us, like certain certain agendas or whatever that's being pushed upon like TVs,
Yeah.
sports, political stuff, and political stuff always gets in the way. These topics are very, very sensitive, but they have a way of trying to push their agenda. And I think what he was talking about, one of these things, with Pride Month, is just always pushed upon us. And he was just
Mhm.
making a statement that, why is this thing, with people's sexuality being pushed upon us? I'm like, that's something that should be private. Like, it shouldn't have to be broadcasted into the
Exactly.
world. That's your private stuff. That's something that's private. And so that's all he was saying. Like, he
And
wasn't
to
saying
me,
nothing crazy about like, oh wow, you going to hell, you this, like, nah. He was just
yeah, to me, it's very. We live in a very hypocritical society. This country, top to bottom, is cesspool in hypocrisy, bro. They're all over the place. You're mad at me because I speak my mind against your sexuality or against celebrating your sexuality. Because just for the record, people, let's keep this in mind. Jaden Ivey didn't say anything derogatory. Man never used a gay slur, a queer slur, homosexual. He didn't use the word homosexual or nothing like that. Only thing he referenced was the LGBTQ community and how that's being celebrated by the league. He took offense to the fact that the league is celebrating it. Uh, I think it's just bold hypocrisy to sit here and get mad at this man just simply because he voiced his disagreement or his opinion about the subject. This is stupid to me. It's dumb on their part, and I don't know for the life of me how they can, how these people can call themselves followers of the Constitution, how America can call itself a Christian country, quote unquote. If every time a believer says something, a Christian says something, that they're out of pocket now. Now, I don't think, just for the record, people, I don't think that everybody that boasts the term, the label of Christian are necessarily true followers of Christ. So a whole lot of crap you'll hear out here that I'm not going to be in agreement with that's coming out of the church folks' mouths. But at the same time, I don't see the flaw in anything that Jaden Ivey said. And he has every right to stand up for what he believes in. And that man is willing, just like Colin Kaepernick was, willing to lose his job for it. He's willing to lose his job for it. What I love, I went on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I was reading under the Jaden Ivey. Give me 1 second. Real Street Sports Talk. We're good. I'm gonna address that. But
Mhm.
I went under the comments on Jaden Ivey's Twitter page, and there are all these black folks, which is ironic to me, who was telling him to just shut up and play basketball. Sounds familiar?
I think
Sounds like
even
the
what's
same
his name said
stuff.
that. Did you watch? Do you watch Speakeasy or something?
Ah, I'm
Freaking
not a fan. I'll check
what's
him
his
out,
name?
but I'm not.
Emmanuel Acho said something along. Oh, he's saying he was kind of a little out of pocket. A lot of them are saying that he has mental health. He has mental health
They don't know
issues.
nothing about that, man. They can shut the hell up. All them retardos that they got on that show, they got nerve to talk about somebody having mental health
And
issues.
they're the ones that were endorsing Magic City. Like, it's stupid, bro.
Exactly,
Right, so
man.
you
They
want
can
your
shut up.
your
They can
kids to
shut
see,
up
you
talking.
want your daughters to see that crap?
That man didn't do nothing but speak his mind. But at the same time, this is the same country where this is the same country where they were saying to LeBron James during the whole Black Lives Matter movement when he had the players marching out in protest during COVID, during the Black Lives Matter movement. They were telling LeBron to shut up and just play basketball. What I love is everybody thinks that you are your job. You just whatever position you have in life, whatever your field of employment is, this is all you can do in life. You can't have a
They
voice.
just say,
You
be
can't have a
grateful we're
say.
giving you this opportunity.
Say it again.
They're just saying, be grateful we're giving you this opportunity.
Is
That's
that
all
what
you.
they're saying? That's what they're saying. Really, really.
Mhm.
Like Jaden Ivey didn't have nothing to do with that. He didn't earn his right into the NBA. He didn't bust his butt, and he's not making them any money. Let's put that part in there too. Ain't no money coming to the league because of Jaden Ivey. Yeah, whatever. They kill me with this type of talk, bro. It's rhetoric to me. It's hypocrisy at its finest. Let me see here. No,
I'm
yeah,
not going
what?
to say too much before how YouTube is. YouTube is so sensitive to this topic, so
Now, what was
I
it?
can't say too much because on my channel
Okay.
gonna get canceled. Dude.
Tio said, what if he had gay teammates? What if someone in the front office is gay? He is worried about the wrong thing, and you guys are backing this. I'm definitely backing it because here's where the hypocrisy shows up at Tio.
I
What the
have no
hypocrisy
comment
shows
because if I do, my channel might get canceled.
Okay, well, I'm going to comment. The hypocrisy shows up in the fact that everybody cries that you're supposed to have this freedom of speech. You're supposed to be able to speak concerning your convictions and what your beliefs are. The whole gay community speaks everything that they got on their mind. They don't bite their tongue on anything. But anytime a born again believer has a discrepancy with something, not that the gay community itself is doing, he has a discrepancy with something that the league is doing. He didn't address the gay community. If you listen to his comments, he addressed the league and them celebrating this.
Pride
He
Month.
called it them celebrating unrighteousness. And that is his prerogative. He has a right to voice his disagreement or his agreement with it on whatever side of that he's on. That doesn't make him wrong. You can't have a voice. You can't disagree with nothing in this country no more. You can't say anything, especially if you're a Christian these days. That's what's real funny to me, man. As long as you're a Christian and you saying it, it's a problem. Now, if it's anybody else saying it, oh, it's okay. There ain't no problem with it. The Muslims could say it, and that's just their religious belief. That's just how they feel. None of them are getting banned. None of them are getting kicked out the league. But the Christians say it, it's a major problem, bro. It's a major problem. And regardless of what you feel or about him liking or disliking that lifestyle, you can't say he said anything derogatory about anybody in that lifestyle. He didn't call anybody out their name. There was no queer, no the other racial gay slurs or anything that was spewed out of that man's mouth. He just simply addressed the league and how he thought it was hypocritical on their part to be celebrating Pride Month. Where's the crime?
And he could have a civil rights.
He is detrimental to the team. That's your belief, T.O.
This is a whole case. He could have a civil rights case. He could sue the NBA.
Absolutely, and he would win. See, that's what people don't understand. If he sued them based on his civil rights, he would win. You have their inalienable rights that the Constitution gives you as an American citizen. A few of those are freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of the press. That man has a right to have his religious convictions, and he don't have to bite his tongue and hide that because don't nobody like what he got to say. You don't have to like what I got to say, but I have a right to speak my mind as long as I'm not doing it in a derogatory fashion. Where did he harm the gay community when he made his comment? Man didn't attack the gay community. I didn't hear it. Did you hear an attack, Kof, on the gay community when he said what he said? I didn't. So I don't know what all the hoopla is always about when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. You have a nice day too, Tio.
Hey, Real Street Source Talk. I'm not really going to say too much about this. I mean, because you know how YouTube is. YouTube is,
I just think everybody's gotten way too delicate on certain subjects in this country, But offending people,
I'm just gonna say he has his First Amendment rights. That's right. All I'm gonna say about that topic. I mean, he has a right to, express his opinion. That's his opinion. That's his opinion. Everybody has a right. I mean, if you're saying the sky's blue, the sky's blue. If you love being gay, go ahead. Shoot, don't do that proudly if you want to. Don't force it down people's throats. Just don't force it down people's throats. That's all I'm saying. Just don't force it down, people's throats. That's all I say, So.
Yeah. And it's amazing to me how everybody is offended when you say things that they don't like, but they don't mind offending you when they say the stuff that they do. People just crazy to me, bro. This country that lost its mind, bro. I don't tell you no lie, bro. They went bonkers in this country, bro. Bonkers, literal bonkers, But everybody got their own mind. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I don't want anybody in the gay community to think that Jay Nivey was bashing you guys. He was not doing that. If you don't believe me, we can put it in the link hear, what his actual comments were. You know, the man didn't say anything detrimental against the gay community. He didn't. He didn't.
But anyway,
That's all I got on that subject, though.
I know. No, all right. Anyway, I think any last comments before we end this stream? I'm gonna end in like a couple minutes.
I'm just excited. I'm excited for this season for the Chicago Bears. I'm really looking forward to seeing what year 2 under Ben Johnson looks like, bro. That guy
He's
is
definitely gonna be way better than year 1. I just can't imagine, man.
outstanding coach, and if Ben Johnson is not in running for coach of the year at the end of this season, then grits ain't groceries, bro. Real talk, bro. That guy should be in running for coach of the year this year, bro. I love what Ben Johnson brings to the table, and I'm sure Caleb Williams loves it, bro. I'm sure he does, man. But go Bears. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Definitely, let's get it, bro.
Yes.
All right, guys. I'd like to thank you guys for coming. Thank you, real for coming. Even though you did disagree with us, you still appreciate it, man. We still love you.
For sure.
And all you guys. Thank you for coming. And yeah, guys, we'll do more topics, do more stuff on this. I will be doing a mock draft. I think a couple weeks before the actual draft. So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be doing some video reviews on some top prospects like Caden Proctor. Who's that guy you're talking about? That linebacker from Iowa, Jordan.
Kyle Jordan.
Kyle Jordan, and other top prospects. Edges and like Zion Young, all those guys. So stay tuned for that and more. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming. And as always, man, Chicago up, bear down. See y'all later. All right, guys. Peace.